From the humblest foot soldier using only his hands, to the skillful martial artist wielding deadly swords, they were Japan's warriors. Using the power of the mind, body, and spirit, they developed deadly fighting techniques that have survived the centuries.
You're going to feel a lot of pain.
Today's grandmasters are still passing on the secrets of thousands of years of weaponry and battle techniques. In the middle of the East China Sea, on the crossroads of China and Japan, lies the island of Okinawa. Surrounded by crystal clear waters and treacherous coral reefs, Okinawa is the birthplace of karate, the way of the empty hand.
Every part of every movement has a purpose. Nothing is wasted in karate. It's not for show, it's not for pretty, and it sure as hell ain't for points.
I was a member of the United States Air Force. While in the service, I put in for orders to go overseas to Asia because I wanted to learn more about the martial arts. I've been here for 10 years now, and I've studied Okinawa karate for 10 years.
Wade Croninger is a black belt in Goju Ryu, one of 5 main karate styles. Go meaning hard, and Ju meaning soft. This system is based on the Oriental concept of yin and yang. This states that being totally hard is ineffective, and being totally gentle could be harmful. The two qualities should complement each other.
Okay, pair up. Good. Follow through with your hip. Right.
To study this style, now almost a century old, every aspect of a student's life must take on an element of training. What Wade puts his pupils through, he himself suffers at the hands of his teacher.
We consider the training the forge. The hotter the forge, the harder and sharper the steel is eventually. But the steel is the heart. And having a strong heart means that you'll never have to hurt anyone.
Students learn kata. Kata, or forms, encompass all of the moves and techniques at the heart of karate.
Without kata, all you have are athletics and tricks. Kata is the heart of karate. Without that, you don't have karate. And by training the kata, you develop the warrior within you.
One learns best by beginning with the fundamental moves, master the form to achieve the essence.
Wade Croninger's master, or sensei, in Goju Karate is Masaaki Ikemiyagi.
Wade has expressed his own needs, what he wants to achieve. That with physical training, he will also discipline his mind, so I've helped him with that.
The relationship that I have with my teacher is more of a father-son relationship. I am loyal to him above all else as far as the martial arts are concerned. And we have a very, very close relationship, which is why he doesn't hold back when we train as he would with the other students.
The training is a specific form of Goju Karate called Sanchin, meaning 3 battles. These are the battles between the mind, body, and spirit.
One element's taken away, you lose your effectiveness. So without the mind and the spirit, as well as the physical abilities, you've taken away your effectiveness as a warrior.
When attacking, it's extremely important to maintain your balance. So when you hit their weak points lightly, they fall quickly. The idea is to hit their weak points in a flash.
We do a lot of bone conditioning where we bang our arms and shins into each other.
Now he's twisting and cutting into the attack. And it hurts me a lot worse than it hurts him.
Throughout the Sanchin kata, the mind must be focused, the body steady, and the spirit calm. All outside stress must fail to penetrate, as if the body is made of iron.
We're pushing our bodies to the point that a human body was not intended to go to. We kick each other and we hit each other and we harden the body. It's called iron shirt or iron body training.
Tonight is like regular training, all except for the very end where Sensei beats me and beats me until I give. And what that does is he tests my level of advancement as far as my body hardness, my mental awareness, and just my general abilities as a fighter and as a karate practitioner. It's not sparring, because that would give me just way too much credit. Me sparring him is like me trying to fight Godzilla. It's just not gonna happen. But it tests my abilities, so it's gonna hurt bad. That's part of it. It's his way of nurturing me, making me stronger. Doesn't feel like it at the time, but he's making me stronger. Now, when I get killed. Sensei has tremendous power, but he's also twice as fast as I am. I have enough power in a punch that if I hit his little body, I'm gonna knock it about 10 feet back. But the thing is, he punches so fast that by the time I'm thinking of hitting, I'm having to defend a hit coming in. So I just can't match his speed. It's hard enough just to keep those punches from landing and killing me without trying to stick something out there. It's over. Some nights I leave with a bloody nose and a black eye. He may have cracked my rib on that one shot.
Crocodile hunter Steve Irwin krijgt het vanavond aan de stok met een paar Dangerous Africans. Dat is om 9 uur. Dan om 10 uur terug naar Ground Zero, after the fall. Hoe zijn de Twin Towers ingestort en wat zijn de plannen? En om 11 uur het verhaal van het 4e vliegtuig, de aanslag die verijdeld werd. Inside Flight 93. Een avond extreme, vanavond op Discovery.
11 september 1941. Er werd aan een nieuw gebouw begonnen. Een bescherming voor de knappe koppen die een machtige militaire supermacht de weg zouden wijzen. Zij dachten dat het overal tegen bestand zou zijn. Precies 60 jaar later kwam de onverwachte aanval.
From the humblest foot soldier using only his hands to the skillful martial artist wielding deadly swords, they were Japan's warriors. Using the power of the mind, body, and spirit, they developed deadly fighting techniques that have survived the centuries.
You're going to feel a lot of pain.
Today's grandmasters are still passing on the secrets of thousands of years of weaponry and battle techniques. In the middle of the East China Sea, on the crossroads of China and Japan, lies the island of Okinawa. Surrounded by crystal clear waters and treacherous coral reefs, Okinawa is the birthplace of karate, the way of the empty hand.
Every part of every movement has a purpose. Nothing is wasted in karate. It's not for show, it's not for pretty, and it sure as hell ain't for points.
I was a member of the United States Air Force. While in the service, I put in for orders to go overseas to Asia because I wanted to learn more about the martial arts. I've been here for 10 years now, and I've studied Okinawa Karate for 10 years.
Wade Croninger is a black belt in Goju Ryu, one of 5 main karate styles. Go meaning hard and Ju meaning soft. This system is based on the Oriental concept of yin and yang. This states that being totally hard is ineffective and being totally gentle could be harmful. The two qualities should complement each other.
Okay, pair up. Good. Follow through with your hip. All right.
To study this style, now almost a century old, every aspect of a student's life must take on an element of training. What Wade puts his... In a land once stripped of its weapons and invaded repeatedly for hundreds of years, Okinawans learned to develop a defensive hand technique. They secretly wove it into their culture. Farm tools became deadly weapons. Strikes and punches were secretly hidden in Okinawan dances. These foot soldiers became warriors in their own right.
Now it's become a popular sport. But I believe that these techniques, which were so carefully developed by the Okinawan warriors, are a culture that should be preserved with respect, and that it's important to improve upon those things and pass it on for generations to come.
Across the Pacific, East meets West in a unique fighting art created by American-born Rod Sakonoski. Inspired by the Okinawan karate masters who trained him, Rod has become Soke, or original founder of his own style, a self-defense technique called combat ki. Today, more than 100 students attend Sakonoski's combat ki classes in Indiana, America. Here they develop their internal energy, or ki, the vital force behind the combat art.
Now what you're going to do is you're going to take the ki energy in, you're going to take it in through the nose, going to be totally relaxed. You got to have faith in yourself. And what you're going to do is you bring it in through the nose, you're going to take it right down and let it circle the throat. Picture it going around in the throat as to where it reinforces the throat. The scariest part of this is her not knowing when I'm going to hit her. Because when you can't see it coming, boy, that is absolutely terrifying. Very good. So if I stand up here and I tell him to take either hand and pop me alongside my head just as quick as he can.
For more than 40 years, Rod Sakonoski has been developing his own martial art. Combat ki tests people to the extremes. It is the only martial art known to enable practitioners to sustain full-power strikes and kicks to vital areas such as the throat and genitals, strikes which would normally cause injury, if not death.
Combat ki was, for me, developed more along the karate line, the hardcore karate line.
Let your legs straighten out so you get a wide stance.
They have what is known as sanchin. So this is how I first became aware of the fact that a person could take a minor punch and a minor kick. It's the idea of training the mind and the body and the breath to such a point as to where you not only learn to overcome fear, but you have total control of your body, which enables you to take a blow that would literally kill the average person.
It's going to be a light tingling. It's an electrical energy of the body.
You can't see electricity in a wall socket, but you go put your finger in there and you'll know it's there and it's very real. It's the same thing with ki. when you learn how to work the key in different areas of the body, it reinforces the internal organs so that when you get hit, it actually nullifies the power of the key penetrating into that organ. Instead of, having all that impact penetrate into my body, it stops at a surface level. And that's why there's no damage to the internal organs.
Chest, like.
They're in for a good, hard afternoon. A lot of sweat.
As the day goes on, the energy-developing exercises become more intense.
So our goal is to try to teach you to function when you've had an interruption in the blood flow in the main arteries up in the neck. Sherry McGregor is one of my personal students. She is an excellent martial artist, very, very skilled in karate. And I've been moving her along and training her in internal energy until she's at the point right now where she is ready to take the Combat Key Masters test with a blindfold.
I first began studying the martial arts when I was 7 years old. I took up Combat Key because it was a new challenge. And I felt that it would help me in self-defense be able to face things that normally people are very fearful of.
Sherry McGregor will be only the second woman ever to attempt the deadly Masters test. As the time approaches, she must begin to focus her ki or risk permanent damage to her vital organs.
Because she's a female, gets her no special treatment. And as I told her, she'll either do it and stand up and walk out of there as a master instructor, or we'll carry her out of there and she can come back next year and try again if she's still capable of it.
Just 2 candidates are risking this deadly exam.
What we're going to be doing is we're going to be setting up 8 stations. Each station will contain so many big strikers or kickers. Now, if Sherry watches the first guy go through, we're going to totally change it around so it'll be totally backwards for her.
Everybody's going to try to beat the snot out of him. John Wayne has this marked out as his territory right here.
I know. I told him I hope they swell.
I'll take myself.
When we focus up to punch one of these students, you're punching with about 2,000 pounds pressure. It's awesome.
Well, probably the biggest thing is to keep myself relaxed and not let myself get tense in any part of the test. For me, because I'm small in the midsection, probably the shots to the midsection are the ones that I want to get over with quick. So the throat doesn't bother me at all anymore. The harder they hit, the easier it is to get through. That may sound crazy, but it's true.
Good. You made it. Okay, that's it. You did very well. Okay, Sherry. We're ready for you. You're ready to go.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely sure.
Yes, sir.
Because you know nobody can help you once you get up there. Okay. The Combat Key Masters test is the most dangerous test there is in the Asian martial art. That's bar anything. With you not knowing when you're going to get hit, you can imagine a tremendous fear involved. To get past that test is indeed a very, very high honor. If they go down and they're still able to get back up, they have to go through the whole test again. Okay, let's move to level 4.
I've seen this test done before, so I have a little, knowledge of what it's like, but they do change it around, so the pattern's not the same.
Okay.
Got it. Focus, breathe. Breathe.
Okay, she's up. Let's go to level 7.
But even experts risk everything when pushed to the extremes. The dangers of a test like this are only too clear.
Her rate. She okay?
She's out.
Passed out? Take her over to the side.
Sherry, relax, relax.
Fine.
You okay?
Fine.
Oh, okay. Well,
I'm fine.
she was so relaxed, I thought she passed out. Okay, let's pick it back up.
McGregor has only one more stage left to complete the test, but it's another blow to the chest.
Good, okay. There we go.
Combat Key, compared to other martial arts, is a few notches up in intensity. You have to really have a lot of mental focus to do Combat Key, and that's why I wanted to take the challenge on. It was just a new level of growth in my martial arts training.
You have to develop this mental attitude, much like the samurai had, where you totally concentrated on what you were doing and you were very good at what you did. She is an absolute dedicated martial artist who knows nothing but perfection of technique, and she has that drive and that dedication to complete whatever it is she has to do.
The modern-day martial arts now practiced across the world are rooted in ancient cultures. In the Koga and Iga regions of Japan, as many as 80 ninja clans once operated secretly in the mountains. Deemed the uncivilized outcasts of society by the ruling samurai class, ninja were constantly under attack. As a means of self-defense, they developed a system of martial arts that has earned them the reputation as the most fearsome warriors the world has ever known. In a suburb north of Tokyo lives Shoto Tanemura. His name means the way of the sword. He's one of 2 living grandmasters of Ninpo, the true ninja martial art of stealth. It's been passed on and preserved for more than 58 generations. Tanemura is the living embodiment of the mysterious warriors who existed as a counterculture to the samurai-dominated society of Japan. Many ninjas were descendants of, or were themselves, displaced samurai. They were forced to operate on the sidelines. There, they secretly evolved into a warrior sect of their own. Tanemura's disciples are handpicked from all over the world. They learn a physical, emotional, and spiritual method of self-protection. Protection from the dangers that confront people on the warrior path to enlightenment.
This is a yell of the spirit. We call it Kia. Kia is ki energy, mind energy or soul energy. It is the energy of the spirit. That's what's important to ninja, strong spirit.
One of Tanemura's closest disciples is James Wright, a Scotsman and ninja master who left his country 10 years ago to devote himself to the art of these warriors. At night, he works as a butcher, but he devotes each day to practicing ninpo.
To reach a master level in this martial art takes, for 1, years. 2, dedication. Many hours of practice. There's no shortcuts. There's no easy route to this level. My training under Sensei was very severe when I first started training.
Unlike the ruling class of samurai, who followed a strict code of ethics, or bushido, on and off the battlefield, the ninjas believed that the ends justified the means. Guerrilla warfare against the samurai, who far outnumbered them, made good sense and proved very effective.
The ninja were the eyes and ears of the army, get in and out without getting discovered. So they had to develop special techniques so they could hit and run, basically, and escape. Because it was more important, rather than face-to-face battle with a very strong adversary and have a chance of being killed, to throw some object and escape so they could get the information back and complete their mission.
When faced with an opponent, ninjas would resort to deadly bone-breaking hand-to-hand techniques, dating back more than 800 years.
So he can escape and back kick.
The thing that I really like about the Ninpo is it gives you more options, because you can twist them and hold them down. You can throw them on the ground. You can punch them and kick them if you need to, but you have more options. And not everything always results in hardcore violence.
Oh, yeah. Good.
The concept here is self-defense, and so we learn to bite, pull hair, skin grab, pinch. All that is part of the art.
Don't only bite, shake. So can take off the old muscle.
Kyusho and specialized techniques, i.e. using fingers. Pressure points are vital points in the body.
Well, they break the face.
The main purpose behind Kyusho was once you took the opponent down, you could apply pressure to a certain point and immobilize them totally. If you wished to take it to the extreme, you could strike and kill the opponent if necessary as a last resort.
Hook and twist so he cannot take.
Tanemura students also learn to use other, more unconventional weapons developed by these resourceful warriors.
When down time, push into the body.
Most of the weapons which the ninja developed had very practical uses. For example, the kamayari, which is a spear with the two sickles coming out either side of the main blade, obviously for fighting, but could be used for climbing, swinging from tree to tree, had a variety of uses.
But the mind is the ninja's most useful weapon.
Ninja is very clever guy, I think.
11 september 1941. Er werd aan een nieuw gebouw begonnen. Een bescherming voor de knappe koppen die een machtige militaire supermacht de weg zouden wijzen. Zij dachten dat het overal tegen bestand zou zijn. Precies 60 jaar later kwam de onverwachte aanval, die ze altijd al hadden verwacht. Was het erop berekend? Pentagon, zondag om 9 uur op Discovery.
Begin de avond op natuurlijke wijze. Ga er even mee op uit met de andere gasten. Voor een verkoelend drankje en een lichte versnapering. Ontspant u zich eens helemaal in de Wild Zone. Dinsdag tot en met vrijdag vanaf 7 uur op Discovery.
Ninpo is a martial art developed by Japanese ninja warriors. Its weapons include these kumenote, or bear claws, sickles called kamayari, and swords, or bisento. Scotsman James Wright has spent 10 years mastering Ninpo weapons and techniques.
The bisento was basically a battlefield weapon. It was for taking down horses and then killing the rider.
I think that the ninja warriors were much more advanced than the samurai. They were thinking and not just following orders. So thinking how to develop better weapons. And this is a very good example.
I am belt.
These are kumanote, or bear claws. They slip them on their hands, and during fights, they could use them to hit or scratch. And they used it as a tool to climb up trees. This is very useful.
You have to be very careful. This is real, not practice weapon.
Feeling okay? Start to right. Ah, Chris, he cut me already.
To be a true ninja also meant mastering the art of the shuriken. This weapon was used only as a last resort to escape a deadly attacker.
This is shurikens.
These are shurikens. Usually we train with this and then with this. We don't train with this because anyone can do that. It's easy, easy. Even amateurs can do this. But these are professional. The samurai use them, hid them inside their short swords. The samurai learned this from the ninjas.
Learned from ninja. Yes. Need more training.
It doesn't matter if your shuriken sticks in the target or bounces out. Doesn't matter. The main thing is correct form and correct pure spirit. Trying to throw the shuriken at the target. What this represents is life's wave, basically.
Okay, hi. My student, Master Rebel Nagamoto, will do the demonstration.
But perhaps the deadliest ninja weapon is the art of a surprise attack. Beyond the cloak was a myriad of disguises and hidden poisons. Tanemura is one of only 2 grandmasters who still possess the secrets of these potent weapons.
I am now making special powder, Metsubushi, ninja weapon powder. Ninjas use natural pepper, and I cannot say sorry. This is very secret. This is the weapon of last resort. When disappear or run away from the very strong enemy, when this is sprayed, his eyes cannot see anymore. This is Japanese rice, but used like modern glue. This is the original way to make it. Put it on, and when it dries, you can never take it off. It sticks completely and strong. So if I take it out, my opponent won't understand what this egg is for. So in his mind, he thinks it's just an egg. But break, shoot, and powder sprays. But ninjas have to think winds blow in what direction. If this is the direction, I will damage myself too. So to the ninja, this situation is always important. To the ninjas, this is strategy too.
Tanemura retreats to the nearby woods for a demonstration.
The ninja have to be close to nature's feeling and spirit. If they learn and can understand nature, nature will have love for them.
After his class, Tanemura shares some of Ninpo's oldest secrets for the first time with his closest student and possibly the next grandmaster. The powerful art of Ninpo is inscribed in secret scrolls passed on by grandmasters over the centuries. They are priceless records rarely shown to the outside world. Even for James Wright, a Jideshi or inside student, it's a great honor.
I was very fortunate enough to see some very special Makimono scrolls of Sensei, some of which have never been shown to anybody except grandmasters. Contained in the scrolls is oral teachings which are only taught from master to student. I was very proud and honored to see them, and I was surprised also. So it made me very happy.
I showed James the special scrolls because he is at a master level and we understand each other heart to heart.
My training under Sensei at the beginning was very, very, very strict and severe. My relationship with Sensei now has changed because I am a lot closer to the man. I respect him immensely. He's like my father, basically. I plan to stay in Japan for a long time. This is my chance in life, I think. To train under such a man, such a sensei, it's my chance in life to grade up my life as well.
He accepts the secret medicines and poisons and how to take poison.
I have to put in my student's heart my seed, so that when I pass away, he will grow up as a plant, a flower, and he can make the seed and fruits for the next generation. This is heart to heart. It is more important than the techniques.
As night falls, Tanemura-sensei is left alone to commune with his ancestors. He calls upon one of the most powerful and potentially destructive weapons in Ninpo, Kujikiri, or Heaven's Power. This is the ninja's direct connection to the spiritual world.
Kujikiri is a special energy. I put it in my body. I can channel this energy from nature. And a very strong feeling envelops me, like a ghost standing behind me. With this power, I can go into any dangerous areas without any worry.
To commune with the spirit world, Tanemura uses secret hand strikes and spells. Their meaning is hidden in the scrolls and known only to the Grandmasters.
If I use bad Kujikiri, if I issue bad energy, then bad energy will come back to me. So I have to stop. A true ninja knows that well.
As one of the last true ninjas, Shoto Tanemura embodies over 2,000 years of techniques and spiritual knowledge. Through his link to the past, he intends to bring Ninpo into the future.
This martial art came from the world, so I have to give back to the world. This is not only Japanese traditional culture, but human being culture.
In a secluded corner of the Little Tokyo district of Los Angeles is a handcrafted dojo, a place where martial arts are practiced. It's built in the style of a 16th century samurai mansion.
They're grabbing his sword.
At its helm is a true modern-day samurai.
When the sword is against the person's chest here at close quarters, now he cuts through, swings the sword around, clearing the opponent, immobilizes the opponent's drawing hand, and makes a fatal cut.
As the warrior class that dominated Japanese society for more than 800 years, the samurai developed unique combative techniques to defend themselves on and off the battlefield. With their unparalleled skills in swordsmanship, they were the undisputed elite among Japanese warriors. Harvard-educated Kensho Furuya is an ordained Zen priest who's dedicated his life to the samurai.
That's my great personal indulgence, is a sword. It's not simply just its artistic beauty, but it embodies the spirit of the warrior. Even when I was a little kid, I played with sword. Everyone played cops and robbers and cowboys and Indians. I played samurai. The sword became the symbol of samurai, and it was something that never left his side, something that, according to tradition, valued over human life. There's no banging of swords like this and yelling and screaming and jumping up and down. It happens in 1 second. And then he's dead. This is one of the big differences between real swordsmanship and what we see in the movies. Slowly, that's right, turn.
Like the elusive ninja, who had to have a good heart to learn deadly techniques, the samurai also developed an opposing force to the methods of killing, Aikido.
Let's try. Aikido and Iaido, martial arts, was the mainstay of the samurai. That is what made the samurai. Okay, next. Now when you're moving in Aikido, where we must face the person face to face, we recognize the humanity of our opponent. And in recognizing the humanity of our opponent, we recognize our own humanity. Well, Aikido is very interesting because they call it the non-fighting martial art. And Aikido emphasizes harmony or the sense of blending. In fact, Aikido means way of harmonizing your ki or your energy or your powers or your potentials. Okay. Aikido remain as a real martial art in the sense that one is facing his opponent and one must meet his opponent by any means. Yet, within the context of this encounter, there's this kind of connection or blending. And that blending, that kind of harmony that can be created through two supposedly opposing forces is what we're trying to understand through our own training and through our own discipline. No, you hurry too much. Clear the hand first.
Furyo teaches these skills in an environment similar to that of the ancient samurai.
This dojo I built myself. I picked every board. I banged in almost every nail by myself. And this is we call the mizuya, Japanese-style kitchen. And this is the area where they prepare the utensils for the traditional tea ceremony. I like my students to enjoy this kind of environment because this is the kind of environment where Aikido and martial arts was practiced long time ago. And I want them to get the feeling of the age and culture, but also the heritage. And some guests tell me, oh, this is more Japan than Japan. No, side step, and then inside footsteps forward. Okay, try again.
The key to doing successful Aikido is to do it just as my teacher, Sensei Furuya, does it. It's such a specific, minute art form that I think that is one of the biggest keys in learning it and doing it properly.
Small step, bring this hand down right away. Now this foot comes forward. Try one more time. No, inside foot comes forward. What are you doing? No one said back stretch. No one said back stretch. Adam, you have to wake up a little bit. The teaching relationship, especially in martial arts, is governed by many rules. Rules of propriety, of etiquette, decorum, and protocol. And these are always observed. If I didn't say back stretch, then there's no back stretch. Okay? A lot of the discipline in the dojo resembles the same discipline that monks underwent in taking care of the Zen temples. And a lot of this was considered as a kind of spiritual training. Okay, clean up. Line up. Right away, let's go. The dojo must be cleaned and purified. The mats have to be cleaned after they use it. The whole dojo must be kept immaculately clean. Many things that you do have no merit, no prize, no reward. And to do something which has no merit, which has no reward, this is what we call spiritual training. I said the mat. This is important kind of training. This is how it breaks down the ego and opens you up for this learning experience. Not from your shoulder, throw from your hip. These techniques are called Ushirowaza, which is a tackle where the opponent is moving behind the defender, but it's also to develop sensitivity and awareness to the opponent's body position, even though you can't see him. In order to do that, you need to develop a strong sense of timing and a strong sense of spacing, and to know where your opponent is. So this is a very important part of Aikido training. It's not like in a more competitive situation where opponent is standing in front of you with a referee. He can come from any direction. basic technique. And what's interesting about basic technique is that there's no end to the depth in which you can study it.
By sticking to the basics, Furuya has mastered one of the greatest feats of martial artistry, ki no nagare, or flowing ki movement.
You get to the higher levels, it's beautiful to watch. When Sensei does it, it's at the highest level.
It's wonderful. It's even better to feel it when a senior student, throws you down, because you really feel, you get a real sense of that energy. It's wonderful.
Technique is hidden. You're seeing martial arts and everybody wants to show that technique. But martial art has hidden technique. You can't see it. That's what martial arts technique is.
Crocodile hunter Steve Irwin krijgt het vanavond aan de stok met een paar Dangerous Africans. Dat is om 9 uur. Dan om 10 uur terug naar Ground Zero, after the fall. Hoe zijn de Twin Towers ingestort en wat zijn de plannen? En om 11 uur het verhaal van het 4e vliegtuig, de aanslag die verijdeld werd. Inside Flight 93. Een avond extreme, vanavond op Discovery.
2 teams, 1 uitdaging en een berg mogelijkheden. Met vindingrijkheid, teamwork en een paar reserveonderdelen kan er van alles ontstaan. Van een bruggenbouwer tot een ballonbommenwerper uit de Scrap Heap Challenge. Onderdeel van Science Night. Dinsdags om 9 uur op Discovery.
I love this job, me and Sunny Vienna.
Dit is een geweldige job in geweldig wenen. Ik wilde alleen even zeggen, misschien herkent u mij van Lonely Planet, maar zo heet het niet meer. Het heet nu Globe Tracker. Maar geen zorgen, het is hetzelfde programma. Net zoveel plezier en zelfs nog meer. Alleen de naam is veranderd in Globe Tracker. En het is op Discovery.
Be there, 'cause I will be. Oh.
Aikido, meaning the way of harmony of spirit, is heir to a rich Japanese cultural and philosophical background. Known as the non-fighting martial art, Aikido is a means of self-cultivation and improvement. Kensho Furuya built his Los Angeles dojo to teach pupils how to use their energy when faced with an opponent.
Back foot slide in. Then both hands down. Everything is key energy. But key energy cannot be separated from physical technique. The only thing in Aikido is that it's emphasized and being used to its most maximum power. Then why does it work? He grabs tight, one hand. If his force is coming towards me, that's right. This is what happens. Actually, if he's grabbing very aggressively, I don't have time to hit him. If I try to kick him, I'll probably fall on the ground. So in Aikido, the idea is not to receive his power. Deflect his power. So I go down.
It feels like he's throwing me down. I feel like he's totally controlling me.
Somebody once said there's a trick to everything. And there's all kinds of fantastic feats that martial arts can do. Just all key movement. That's what we consider the great mystery and the great feat that you will see in the martial arts. Something which is plain and simple and totally natural. And this is what we're trying to achieve. Key movement. All martial arts training is until you understand it. It may take 1 second, it may take 10 years, it may take a lifetime. That's why we train. There's no guarantee. It's a learning, living process, so you can't put a price on it. That's real martial arts.
For any true martial artist, the way of the warrior is not a path to the battlefield, It's a journey that leads to a better understanding of the warrior within.
You learn patience, etiquette. You develop your mental and physical skills to their highest levels.
It has to do with inner strength, disciplining your spirit. In any situation, to develop a mind that can respond calmly and clearly to any given situation, that's what it's about.
I really don't think that the martial arts are that different. There's a saying in Okinawa that we all take different paths to the top of the mountain, yet we can all see the moon when we get there.
The training goes beyond the mat and becomes a way of life, the true way of the warrior.
To grab somebody and throw them down or to punch and kick them, that's very primitive compared to the kind of weapons that we've developed today. But martial arts was developed by many great masters over many centuries, and there's a heritage of culture, history, and wisdom. And it's that wisdom that I think is valuable, because it's through that wisdom that man can keep his humanity. That's the importance of martial arts.